family. I am just getting out of the shower, moisturizing my face and everything, but I wanted to come in and speak on the current events of today. Uh, well, if you guys have been amongst the living, you guys know that the terror of Boston has been concluded with one of the suspects being shot and the other one being captured alive. Now, personally, I think, were they going to really catch him, get him alive in the first place if it wasn't for the fact that, in my opinion, the rest of his life is not going to be his own. I think the rest of his life he's going to be somewhat like Hannibal Lecter, something like that, Silence of the Lambs guy, because they want to treat him as a specimen, They want to be able to pick his brain, if you will. So, personally, I think if the authorities had their way and it wasn't a matter of the powers that be, I don't think they would have really brought him out alive. But how many times do you get someone that has done something as heinous as this and you catch them alive to question them? Not very often. You don't get that often. So, for the government, I think it's a win-win. One of them are deceased. The other one is captured alive. But, depending on who you ask, he would probably be in something somewhat like Camp Snoopy. Because I doubt very seriously if they're going to put him in like general population. Why would they? He would be dead in like an instant. One thing about Americans, when you harm children, that's when you really have hurt us. Is when children fall as prey. So, I have to say that this is far from over. This is merely just the beginning. And I would not be surprised if they, plead insanity on him. And then therefore they can put him in an asylum. They can pick his brain. They can test him. They can run him through a series of stuff. Sort of like, like when the Incredible Hulk, and they were always trying to catch him. But they didn't want to catch him to kill him. They wanted to catch him to study him. Like, what was that other movie? Dark Man, Ghost Man, that kind of stuff. And they like to catch these crazies and put them on public display. Well, not so much as public display. I won't even say that. Come in.
Nope.
Not so much as public display. Come in. Not so much as public display because, of course, they're not going to, make this a fiasco. But you best bet, the heavy hitters, if you will, that ran this whole operation, oh yeah, they want to sit across the table and study him. But, as I was sitting here and I was taking my shower and I was thinking, I'm like, people we're focused on this, in which, yes, this is a current affair. It's catastrophic. It's very tragic. I understand. But I think we're also forgetting the fact that there was also a tragedy in Texas. And this has pretty much overshadowed that tragedy. And we need to pray. We seriously need to pray. I think we are in some trying times right now, and I think God help us, Another thing, too, I think that we need to get to a place where we are not passing judgment on ethnicities. Not every foreigner will be considered as a person that's coming in here to blow up the place. I think that it's kind of unfair. As I was watching the uncle speak today, and the uncle, he was, wanting it to be fully known that he don't advocate this. And those boys weren't raised this way and all that kinds of stuff. And I understood exactly where he was coming from, because right off the top, just as my aunt, right off the top is like, this is, a terrorist attack and, yada, yada, yada. From the start, I always believed that it was going to be domestic, because I didn't think that, sad to say, I think that if it would have been foreign, it would have been bigger, in my opinion. I could be wrong, and I hope that I am, but I'm just a realist about it, and I think that if that would have been the case, it would have been a much bigger tragedy than what it was. So, I don't know. But I think that we need to stop passing judgment on people. And just as we have African American men, Hispanic men, Asian men, and you want to pass judgment on them, not all of them are crooks. Not all of them sell drugs. Not all of them, can build a computer from scratch. We need to stop labeling people based on their nationality and their race. I think that's horrible. I think it's kind of unfair, And, then people will say, well, this is our country, go back to where you came from and all that. But the point of the matter is, this is the land of the free, the home of the brave. So if you're in another country and it's volatile, wouldn't you want to bring your family into peace? Seemingly peace. Is there peace here in America? Is it? I don't know. Depends on who you ask. Are we really free? Are we really? I don't know. Depends on who you ask. But I have to say that, well, it's going to be a long few days. It's going to be long. It's going to be long months and years to come, because this is so far from over. And I see this guy living the rest of his life in some form of cage, like a Hannibal Lecter. They're going to have to, because they're going to have to, get to the bottom of this and find the reasons why. But really, do we really want a reason why, really? I don't know. It's just kind of sad, really. And I think about their mother. I know their father, he was, right off the top, he was like, my sons have been framed. And, no parents wants to hear that their kid has done something so disgusting. No parent wants to, want to accept that. I wouldn't either. Want to accept the fact that my sons have done something so heinous to others. Again, family, I think we need to pray. I think we are in some trying times, and I think, little bit by little bit, and person by person, and each one of us try to do something that's going to change up the dynamics of things, because right now, it's bad. So, anyway, I just wanted to come in and I wanted to give my viewpoint on this subject matter and give my opinion. And leave with this tidbit too, because I was thinking, though we are, different races, national, different colors, shapes, sizes, and, we're a huge melting pot of people. But have you ever noticed that when the lens is in black and white, we're all different shades of gray? It's true. All right, family. You guys have a good night. I love you. Bye.